It's a orange juice.
What's up, everyone? It's OJ with the YouTuber challenge. So if you look at all of these decks, they're all created by YouTubers from around the world. So for Ash, he represents USA. For me, I represent Canada. So that's why there wasn't enough room for Nick, Pat, or Molt, if you guys were wondering, because they featured everyone else from all over the world. Just like the other challenge, this one, I wanted to make a better deck, but I didn't want to like hard counter everyone because that would be really cheesy. So I picked a really solid deck, the Bats, Skeleton Barrel, Meganite, Goblin Hut deck. But I replaced Bats with Zappies. The thing with that though is that Bats were Zap bait for the Skeleton Barrel and for the Inferno Dragon. So it's kind of making the deck weaker, but I just wanted to use Zappies anyways. And I'm the only YouTuber to create a Zappies deck. So just like the last challenge, the biggest thing you have to think about is what people have. Looking at all these decks really quickly, my deck is the only one that has Zappies. So as soon as you see Zappies played, you gotta be sure that there's gonna be Meganite, there's gonna be Skeleton Barrel, Inferno Dragon to take care of the big tanks. And then if you look at Ash's deck, he has a very unique deck. He's got Goblin Gang. It's the only deck out of the 10 decks that have the Goblin Gang. It's the only deck to have 3 Musketeers. So put 2 and 2 together. If you ever see Goblin Gang played, brace yourself, save your Meganite. Save it for the 3 Musketeers that are going to be coming and you're going to be wrecking your tower. If you don't have the Meganite, you will have the Ghost. Just make sure that your opponent doesn't build up enough for the 3 Musketeers with like an Ice Golem and everything else in the front. For Alvaro's deck, the 2 things that really set this deck apart is that it has Giant Skeleton, it has Dark Prince. Any of those 2 that you see ever played, there's going to be a graveyard. Brace yourself for the graveyard. You're going to need Zappies. That's not that good. You're going to need to use the Meganite. You're going to need to use the Royal Ghost or Miner or Zappies. It's ridiculous. Graveyard is going to be very strong against this deck. Just prepare yourself when you see Giant Skeleton and the Dark Prince. There's going to be a graveyard. Flakes Powers from Brazil. He has a Golem Beatdown deck. And the one thing that makes this deck really unique, apart from the other one, is that it has the flying machine. You ever see a flying machine? There's gonna be a golem. You have Goblin Hut, you have Inferno Dragon. Save that Inferno Dragon for that golem that's gonna be coming down at double elixir time. As for the flying machine, you have Zappies. It just wrecks the flying machine unless they have poison, and they will. Just make sure not to play the Goblin Hut and the Zappies together too closely. Alright, this is gonna be Godspeed's deck. It's very similar. It's gonna be kind of hard to differentiate from that, but when you see a Night Witch, there's most likely gonna be a golem in there. If you see Elixir Collector, it's gonna be the 3 Musketeers, or it's going to be this golem deck. So brace yourself for the Inferno Dragon or the Meganite for the 3 Musketeers that will be coming. And it does have guards. It's only one of 2 decks that will have guards. So if it has guards, it's going to be this golem deck, or it's going to be this classic graveyard Splashnado deck made by Trimax. So if you see a baby dragon, it's going to be one of 2 things. It's going to be this graveyard deck, or it's going to be the other Skeleton Barrel deck. But Bowler is the only card out of the 10 decks that make this unique. When you see a Bowler down, there's going to be a graveyard. Brace yourself. You've got some decent counters. You've got Meganite, Miner, the Zappies kind of, Royal Ghosts. You're gonna have to use Zap a lot. For Kyoko's deck, Coco's deck, it has very unique things in here where it's the only deck to have the Giant. It's the only deck to have Sparky, the only deck to have Goblin Barrel, and the only deck to have Skarmy. So you're gonna have Zap for Sparky, Skeleton Army, Goblin Barrel sometimes, and the minions. You're gonna need to use the Zappies quite a lot to finish off all of those air troops. And then you have the Meganite for the Skarmy. You do have the Royal Ghost. Depending how you position him, you can counter the Skarmy too. So you're gonna want to save your Zap, not for the Skarmy, but for these guys. Then you have June's deck. The one card that sets this deck completely apart from everything else is that it has the cannon cart. When you see a cannon cart, there's gonna be a graveyard for sure. Just like the last challenge with the King's Cup, it's not necessarily about the deck, it's knowing what your opponent has. So in this one, it's very unique. It's the only one to have Lava Hound. You might not even see it into double elixir. You might, but for sure you will see the Furnace most of the time as a first play if it's in rotation. When you see a Furnace, there's going to be a Lava Hound. You have the Inferno Dragon to counter that. And then you have Bats that can be zapped, Skeleton Barrel that can be zapped, minions that can be taken care of with Zappies and everything. And this deck does not have poison. It does not have fireball. That means you should group up your Zappies in the same lane. Don't split your Zappies. Focus fire everything into the same lane. Make sure that it's not splashed by the baby dragon. Protect it from the fire spirits and you'll be fine. All right, so for the last deck, this one is a big throwback to the classic. It's so classic that it's not even meta anymore. So it's the only deck to have archers. It's the only deck to have the knight. It's the only deck to have hog. Only one to have Inferno Tower, the only one to have Fireball. As soon as you know there's any of these cards, you have the Goblin Hunt to pull the Hog, you have Zappies, you have Mega Knight, they all stop the Hog. That's basically the only win condition that they have. Just make sure to be wary of their Fireball, plant the hut a lot higher, a lot more staggered on the side so it can't clip the Goblin Hut and the Princess Tower so that they can get value on it. Especially if it's a prediction Fireball, that Hog will get through, so make sure not to place that Goblin Hut in a weird spot. If anything, just play the Mega Knight, counter the Hog, then you can counterattack. This deck, I don't see too much trouble because you've got so many counters against the Hog and it's basically the only win condition. Alright, so with this deck, I'm 10-2 in the challenge just because I like rocking with 2 losses for the video recordings. Adds a little more spice to it. Well, I'll show you guys how this deck kind of works. It's pretty basic. There's a lot of synergies. Skeleton Barrel works really well with everything. And the really good starting hand is Goblin Hut. If you ever have Goblin Hut, always put it down. It's defensive, it's offensive, it protects, and it chips. Oh, beautiful. Gives me the zap on the goblins, and I get to zap the Elixir Collector. He's going to have a bigger push, but I'm going to have the Inferno Dragon for that really big thing. If he has Golem or Lava Hound, I have the Inferno. Okay, he has Bridge Spam. That means that he's going to have the 3 Musketeers. Boom, just like that. Predicted. Well, not. It was pretty obvious. I do have the Mega Knight, so I'm not worried about that at all. Now I just have to get rid of that Musketeer on the left side. What a nuisance. Oh my goodness, that was not a good Goblin Gang. I don't even need to worry about the Musketeer on the left side. She's so low on everything. I do have my Miner up. And he's going to have Elixir Collector very soon, just like that. And he's going to have the Goblin Gang for sure, for sure. Oh, he used it on my Mega Knight, so he's good. Either way, I'm chipping on the right side. And he's got nothing on the left side. And because this is the 3M deck, it doesn't really have any direct damage spells like Fireball or Poison. That's why I'm not afraid to put the Zappies and the Goblin Hut really close together. I'm going to tank with everything. I'm going to use a Skeleton Barrel to tank for my Zappies. He's got Log that demolishes everything. I'm not worried about that Musketeer on the left side. He's going to try and support on the right side. Okay, maybe I'm a little worried. Maybe I'm a little worried. Pull 1 Barbarian, that is beautiful. That's a lot of minions. I zap that just so that my Spear Goblins can one-hit the rest of the minions. And like I said, playing it close to my Goblin Hut because I'm not worried at all. I'm not worried about anything because he doesn't have Fireball, he doesn't have Poison. This is like I was saying for the challenge, know what your opponent has is kind of more important than the deck that you get. So recognize the patterns that they have. I recognize that there's a battle ram, so immediately I knew it was going to be a bridge spam deck. I could have used my Mega Knight on the Lumberjack there, but I'm definitely saving it for the 3 Musketeers. I've got that 1 Zappy to kind of protect my tower. It's no big deal. Meanwhile, nothing's... Oh, the Ghost splashes the Lumberjack. That is beautiful. I overcommitted on the right side, so now my left side is in trouble. I'm going to lose the game. I'm going to lose the game because I overcommitted. I had that game. I was being stupid. I could have put the Mega Knight on the right side and just let it fly on the left side with Zappies. This is what I get for starting the video with 10-2. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's how you not play the challenge. But the beautiful thing about this challenge is that at 2 wins, you get 10 rare cards. 4 wins, 2,000 gold. 6 wins, 4,000 gold. 8 wins, 8,000 gold. 10 wins, a giant chest. And 12 wins, a legendary chest. Clash with Ash kind of hinted that he wanted legendary chest on this, so big shout out to him to that. And big thing with this challenge is that there is 10 gems. for re-entry. The first entry is free and the rest is going to be 10 gems. 10 gems for a legendary chest. Even if you try 10 times and you get it on the 10th time, that is so worth it for a legendary chest, because thinking about it, it's 500 gems in the shop. So you can try 50 times if you have the time for it, but it is so value. This challenge is going to be really, really fun. And really, like I was saying earlier, be mindful of everything. Be mindful of what you have. Be mindful of what you can counter. And just be aware of their decks. I hope these tips are helpful. Thanks for watching.